And today we have the pleasure to have my dear friend, a great artist, very gifted woman with a lot of character, a stage experience, a singing experience, MarianAngelica Ayala.
Hola, Sissy.
¿Cómo estás?
Nice meeting you. Nice being here.
Yes, MarianAngelica, in español, in English. Like I said, we're going to do it first an interview in English, then in Spanish, because obviously we speak Spanish. But we're going to do it first. We're going to switch between, no, we're going to do it only in English. But before we begin, I want to send my regards to Esteban Quesada Vizcaíno, one of the greatest people I know, my cinematographer, my friend, and my collaborator. He's in Paris. He's going to be shooting in Europe for just about, I don't know, 4 weeks. So we're sending a love to Esteban. Thank you for helping us out. I love you. You inspire me. So we're very proud of you. Okay? And John Chavez, my dear friend and actor, a man who loves the theater. He came to New York just about 2 weeks ago. We went to celebrate my birthday. We had a great time at BBQs, and he said, Sissy, you gotta meet this woman, MarianAngelica. And I said, I know MarianAngelica. We're friends on Facebook.
Yes.
But you go figure, you have so many people on Facebook that you know, next thing you know, no, I don't know her. Anyway, John said, and he was very clear, he explained it very nicely, said, she is a great lady, a great talent, a very talented woman who deserves to be interviewed. And here you are. Thank you for making the time.
Thanks to you, Sissy. Thanks for having me and allowing me to speak a little bit about my life. It's great to share.
Yes, number one, your hair is beautiful. What do you do with your hair? How do you do it? You keep it so nice and shiny.
Oh, I have to say thank you to my mom.
Your mama? She's the one?
Yes, this is jeans.
This is her jeans. So you never dye your hair. You know how many times I dyed
Well, I think I'm going to have to soon. It's going to start. It's starting.
Yes, yes.
It's starting.
It's starting, little by little, but you don't dye your hair. That's the key.
Yeah, not yet. But
not yet. Lucky you. Talking about your background, let's go back to the beginning. Every time I have my guest, I like to go back to the first memory.
Okay, beginnings is...
acting-wise, singing-wise.
Yes, acting-wise.
In your country.
Well, it's interesting because when I started actually acting, it was like a discovery. Sort of my parents didn't want me to do it, you know. And so it took me to go away from home in order to be able to find that. So I had a dream to go to France because I wanted to learn the French language. And then by means of first arriving to the States, then I went to France. I got accepted at the Sorbonne to study theater.
Pretty major. That's pretty major.
And when I was there, it was more theoretical. So I mean, I wanted to be an actor. And so I shifted. You know, I actually left the university and went into a conservatory. And that's when I started my formation, my training. Before that, I was playing the cuatro and singing and dancing. But that was like sort of my first, like really studying, studying acting. And I stayed there. It was really based on language, but I was working in French. And I did several jobs. And then when I went back home, then I started working a lot in cinema. Right, you brought all that experience to you. But how does it work? Because I have a famous, in Costa Rica, back home, we have a lot of people in the theater who, they go to Europe and they study. And we have a lot of people coming from overseas. I don't know in Venezuela, but it happens everywhere. Of course,
we have tons of people coming from everywhere. And I have a teacher, her name is Maria Bonilla, and she's very much dedicated to the craft of acting, theater background, and she went to La Sorbona, and I'm kind of like curious about how is the experience of living and studying there?
Well, I mean, for me it was like fulfilling a dream. You know, I wanted to go to France. I worked many years in learning the language so when I could go there. And then it was also discovering myself as an artist because I don't know, I just was curious to do all these things, and I didn't really know. I was dancing, I was singing, and I was like, I just needed to express myself. And when I was there, I found you know, I found that when I was in the Sorbonne, although it was theoretical studies, but I said, I want to act. What I want is to deal with language and my body and how is it that I express. And so that's when I did the shift. And it was like, you know, I did a couple of films. I didn't do theater right away, although my training was theatrical.
Right.
And then when I went back to Venezuela, it was when I started to working a lot. I started working in films, a lot of foreign films that were there. And then still not a lot of acting, although a couple of plays I did at home. But my acting, I meant theater. Acting in theater, just when I came to the United States and decided to move to the United States. It's been, I guess I'm sort of a, I don't know, a wandering spirit. Beautiful. And it took me a while to understand who I was, but I mean, that's the path, you know.
Right, and that's a journey too.
Yeah, you just realize as you walk it, you know, you realize who you are and why is it that you have to do all that stuff in order to understand what your spirit is and what is it that you want to express. Right.
Is it France? I've never been to Paris. I have no idea. Plenty of movies. Plenty of lovers too. Keep it in the QT. You know, I got a husband. I'm kidding. I love French movies. I love French actors. I'm a big. I think they. I don't want to say the best because it's not fair. But the movies in France, talking specifically about France, they have a very different texture.
Well, it reflects their culture and their spirit. You know, they are people who are in the detail. The language is so precise. There's a word for every nuance. Even their cuisine is so exquisite. It's so, you know, there's so many flavors. So I think their spirit reflects. And, you know, and that's when, from a perspective of here, where movies go really fast, over there, you might say, oh, they go slow, but they are contemplative. They are, you know, they're in the aesthetics and the form. And life is like that too. You know, they sit down and they eat. And they share for a long time. You know, meals are important in France, and you know, your wine and your little entree and the ritual of eating while having good company is which is how life evolves, and which is really what actually all great works of art are full of. You know, it's our souls. It's what goes into those, you know, spaces and what you share in there. So I think, you know,
how long you were in France?
I was like for 8 years.
Oh, lucky you! So you speak the language.
Yes, I do.
You're so lucky. It was difficult for you to learn.
Well, as I said, it was a passion. So
it was a passion. So
it was since I was 15 years old. I was studying. So for me, it was like when I went there, I was just like, whoosh. And then by the fact that I studied theater, and by working on text, French text, traditional classic French texts, I became very fluent. I mean, I still had my accent. I can't, because French people are so precious with their language. So one is never good enough.
With themselves. We don't try to pick up with France. I love France. Come on. But it's like bottom line.
No, they're very, they're very attached to, you know. And so, but that allowed me to learn it. And I, you know, for me, the more languages you speak, the better it is. Yes.
And the more you know, the better it is.
Yes, of course, and more people you can communicate and you know, create worlds that are a little bit more. If you can understand other cultures, then you understand what it is to be in somebody else's shoes, and so you become a better person. So for me, that's always good, and it's part of my process of growth.
And it's needed.
It's definitely needed. We can see the world how it's going, so it's definitely needed.
Now, shifting, going to Venezuela and going to New York. How was like in your head making that decision? Because it's a big jump. Where I come from, Costa Rica, it's a big jump. Now you see more often. You see people coming from Costa Rica to live here and study here and try acting and try directing and try editing. Now it's much. It's not that it's easier, but the world is changing.
Yes, I think the you know, the fact that we have internet, I think the globalization. Well, I think when I was growing up, it was just starting, and I think now it's like, it's just like opening up. So I think we are the pioneers of what's happening now. I definitely feel that. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I really feel like, because I was like, you know, my backpack and traveling all over.
Yes,
yeah,
it was a big shock to come to New York. Remember the first day that you saw the city?
Yeah, it was.
What it was like? Can you bring us back to that moment when, I don't know, when you took a cab, you went to Port Authorities, you came up to subway, you saw all those characters, you saw all those crazy people everywhere.
It was something.
What it was like?
Well, I can tell I had the New York experience itself, because it was like taking a cab, and then, hey, I want to go. I had rented an apartment, a room in Queens, in Forest Hills, and which I had found by luck. A contact that I had in, because first I arrived in Miami before coming here, and I don't know what the cab driver said. I don't know, but somehow we got into this discussion. And I ended up somewhere there in the road. He took me out of the car, and I was with my 2 suitcases there, like trying to get another cab to get to the place where I was supposed to. That was my first New York experience when I got here.
And it was shocking to
you. Of course.
Very shocking.
And then the other thing is getting out of the subway and just looking at all those buildings. I mean, wow. That was
crazy.
Like, yeah, it's big. It was so huge.
Right.
It was just, I mean, Europe is different. I think the relationship of the city to the individual is more humane. You don't feel like that, you know, it doesn't feel so far from you. You feel like more integrated because the buildings have beauty. Not that New York is not beautiful, but it's more to your own human dimension.
Right.
So it doesn't go that fast. But coming to New York, it's pretty shocking.
Can the city drive you crazy if you let it? I mean, are we mystifying New York City too much?
Yeah, it can. I've gone crazy a couple of times, but you know, you sort of jump back. And I actually am a person who belongs more to cities like this one than anything. I have become a person that actually feels more comfortable in spaces like this.
Yeah, me too. So you consider yourself a New Yorker?
Yeah, I'm a New Yorker.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay, in terms of your acting, let's get on it because you see time goes so fast and we need to cover as much as we can.
Yeah.
Theater, your experience in New York, the Puerto Rican traveling theater, and why not, of course, talking about Miriam Colon.
Oh, yes,
a
great
lady,
medium.
In the strict sense of the word, she was a nice woman, Actor Studio member, lifetime member of the Actor Studio, the Puerto Rican traveling theater. We had a loss as a theater,
a great opener of doors for all Latino actors, and very caring and taking care of all the, you know, that playwrights and actors all get an opportunity. She was like a big mama to all of us.
Yes. And she was so small too, so tiny.
Yes. But oh my God, was she forceful and
the guts
and beautiful on camera. Her face just beautiful, beautiful, incredible, powerful woman.
Yeah, very determined.
Yes.
She was very.
Yeah,
she was not afraid of anybody.
Well, and you know, to have a theater, to carry that vision out, and to keep it going for so many years, in the heart of New York, it's you know how hard it is to do theater in the city.
To do anything.
Yes.
To pay rent, to pay bills, to get a lover, I'm sorry, a boyfriend or a husband, or to find a good manager, or to find acting teachers. There are plenty of acting teachers. I have plenty of people that I had in my life. Elizabeth Kemp, my queen. Marilyn Sokol back in the day, studio members, people that I know, whether it's a studio, not studio, not actor studio. There's so much in the city taking place. That where do you begin?
Yeah.
So you as an actor, what was the little seed in you, the little thing, okay, the flame, the fire, where I'm going to go and how I'm going to start? Do you have friends when you came here?
No, I didn't have any friends.
Like me.
It was an interesting. No, I didn't know anybody. Absolutely, and I came in with a sort of like a day job that I had gotten when I transited through Miami. I had a friend in Miami when I came the first time. Okay. And then I came to New York, and for a while I was there because it was just about around September 11th. It was just 1 month off.
Just one. Oh. Okay.
So I spent a whole day attached to that job. Thank God that sort of lasted one day. And then I was like, okay, how do you do this? And then I just said, okay, I have to audition. So I started auditioning, and I think it was my fifth audition at the Thalia Theater, where I got my break. I got a leading role, 2 characters, a show that was called Monogamia or Monogamy.
Monogamy.
And
they were so nice. I interviewed them. That was those 2.
Yes.
Beautiful couple.
Yes.
They're one of my first guests on my show. Yes.
Soledad.
Soledad, she's great, and the man, he's so talented. Angel is,
and they have the 2 beautiful kids.
And they have 2 beautiful, and they're so devoted to the theater, to the craft. So that was your first experience.
Yeah, that was my first. They opened that opportunity for me, and from then on, it was like I just connected to the right people. So I was in an environment that was adequate for me. So it was just about, you know, I was then doing other plays, I was teaching, I was doing children's theater. Also, I had a 5-year stint in a SEA. I started doing a lot of children's theater. I love working with kids.
I can see that. Your energy is very, what's your sign? I hate to ask this question.
I'm Capricorn.
Capricorn, like my father. Rest in peace, okay?
Yeah. I'm a goat.
You're a goat, but your energy is very
I'm not so much like stubborn, maybe to getting at what it is, but you know, just walking your path.
And following your dreams.
Yeah, just you know. Yeah, and trying to stay true to who I am.
Truthful to yourself.
Yeah.
In terms of like getting, like everybody who knows the city and everybody who's facing the reality that we're facing in terms of like what career move, who can be your agent, who can be your manager, who can be, if it takes time to find yourself and find your niche in this city. What is the most important thing that you had learned, MarianAngelica, you the woman, the artist? And number 2, always ask this question, what's the most important thing, what's been the biggest obstacle, and what drives you? Because it's very difficult and it is easy sometimes to get lost.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to make it in New York. Everybody's an actor to begin with.
Of course, yes.
Right? Every corner, which is, we're very proud of, you know, it's a craft, but let's face it, actors are everywhere. Actresses are everywhere. So that's why we see people now writing, producing, right?
Yes.
Directing. We're shifting, or we're wearing different hats.
Well, I think we have to.
We have to.
I think it's the only way. And I think maybe that is the consciousness I've gained, is like you have to take it into your hands. No matter what is it that you want to do, you have to take it in hand. You want to be the one who gives yourself the opportunity to by writing, by producing, by creating. Okay, I want to do this. You know, how do I do it? Who can I work with? You know, who can make this come true with me, you know? And for example, when I started doing, one of my things is that I have a theatrical path, but I also have a musical path.
Yes, and that's what we're here for too. You see, I have to balance it out, but I said I gotta do acting, singing. La Maleta Azul, yes, because when I saw John, he handed out to me, Sissy, she's sending you MarianAngelica. We can't zoom in because Mike, I think, yes, you can do it. You can follow my drill. Yeah, forget about my face. That's her face. Yeah, it's all light, all beautiful. Yeah, that's what I call a close-up, Mr. DeMille. My tap, you got a lot of talent in your fingers, man. Whatever you do, just keep doing it. Keep it in the QT. This is serious business. What beautiful, beautiful eyes. La Maleta Azul. That's the name of your production.
Yes.
Let's talk about this.
Well, that's my baby.
This is your baby.
Yes, yes. And La Maleta Azul, so that you know, it's one of the tunes. It's one of the tunes. But La Maleta Azul
is con el que abre. That's how we begin the CD, right? El título
es la que abre.
Es the opening scene. Yes.
And it's
the first song. So I'm sorry that we shift and shift.
Oh dear.
It happens. Yeah, dear, we forgot the audience. Everybody's going to sue us. Everybody sues in New York.
Yes.
Like, it's incredible, crazy. But anyway, so that's the first song, La Maleta Azul.
La Maleta Azul
is... The blue bag, the blue suitcase.
The blue, that's why we shifted, because it was in Spanish. The blue suitcase is a suitcase that we all carry throughout our lives. And we put lots of things, you know, like in this case, it has, you know, my skirt, It has my socks, it has my pants, but it also has a lot of unnecessary things like a hammer, a rake, and things that just make it heavy. And when the refrain comes, it means, you know, take all these things out and make your life easier. And that's what the song is about.
It's very true, because I was listening, and my note on the first song was, oh, wait a minute, maybe sometimes we carry too much weight.
Oh, yes. Yes,
baggage.
Our baggage. So we need to get light on it. And you were asking about obstacles. You were saying, hey, can you think about what, you know?
Yes.
Well, for me, that's it. That's my major obstacle. My major obstacles are the obstacles that I place on myself.
Like what? For instance, give me an example.
Well, you know, when you all of a sudden you think you're not good enough, or you can't do that, or, you know, it's too much for you, or, you know, that's, you know, oh, I want to record my CD. It's been a dream for a while. Well, why can't you do it? You know, I can't do it. You know, it's too much. I don't know how to do this. Well, yes, you can give yourself the means. I went back to school. I started to compose. I took some, you know, I composed 6 of those tunes.
Yes.
And for me, that was a, you know, it was very liberating. You know, and it was like, oh, you know, I know I am a creative individual. I'm always doing things that are creative, always. That's what I've understood about me. I am a creative person, and I need to be creating in order to be happy. That's it. And so I have to give myself the chance to be there and allow myself to be there. So I have to work for that. And that's the
biggest lesson?
That's a lesson, yes. It's a lesson for me.
So we all deal with demons.
Yeah.
All of us, we're dealing with.
I have plenty.
We have plenty. But you know what? One of the things that I always said to my sister, I said, you know what the key is? My living, my survival, after you lose a father, like we're talking about when we talk about your dad, is that you learn not to think too much. Thinking is helpful in order for you to achieve knowledge. And reading is essential. And keep your 5 senses open.
Yes.
But at the same token, sometimes I feel that you found peace the less you think.
Well, yeah, it's just thinking in order to, yes, overthinking, and it's
too
just,
much. It gets overwhelming.
Yes, because we don't have all the answers. You know, we don't necessarily know exactly, you know, all the reasons why we're here. We don't know it. And we keep asking our questions, and sometimes you can't answer all of them, but, you know, you just have to, so you have to, you know, you have to have that faith that if you allow the right things to be in your path, you're in the right path, and if they feel right, then you are there. And if, you know, if it comes out of love and out of the basic things that for life, you know, which is love and sharing,
yes.
Then you're sure to be in a good place, you know. And that's how I get really emotional about it.
No, that's great. I mean, no, what I love about you is that, like I say, you're very much in touch with yourself. It's very sweet. It's very powerful. You're a powerful woman, and you let it express it. Let it out of your system. Yeah. We have a lot of people here to el piano.
Oh, yes.
Like we have let's talk a little bit about the musicians. How you guys came together? How do you guys met each other?
Well, in my path to achieve, you know, I said, okay, I need to learn more about music. I wanna do my CD, something that is very much my own. And so I went back to school.
Okay.
And in that process, I started going to jam sessions and meeting musicians, and I met my mentor, who is the bass player, John Benitez.
John Benitez.
And he's also the arranger of many of the tunes.
Yeah, I made note of that when I was listening to it.
And then he sort of like, okay, I said, look, I want to do this. And he sort of like said, okay. And he knew, he saw that I wanted to learn, and I was doing things, and I went back to school, and I took singing lessons, and I learned the piano, and I was like doing all these things. I said, okay. And so he took me and so he started teaching me. He said, okay, this is how, you know, you can compose this way, you can do this. And out of that experience came, you know, I composed those 6 tunes. And I said, okay, you know, this is beautiful. And so for me it was like, you know, then it's John Benitez, right? And then he helped me also get the rest of the team. We have Axel, his son, who's
Axel Lugar.
He's the keyboard, the pianist. And also
Francis Benitez, drums and percussion.
Francis is John's son, and he's an amazing young talent.
Okay, and Tom Wama?
Tom Wama on the guitar.
And Pancho Larrea.
And the guitar for only one tune, which is Tu Mi Delirio, which is a classic bolero from the Latin American repertoire. So I have 6 tunes that I composed, 2 American standards, and 1 Latin American standard, because that's sort of also what my repertoire is. It's sort of very eclectic.
Right.
It can't be any other way because that's who I am. You know, as you see, I live here and there and whatever. And so that's sort of who I am.
Do you like to write things down, MarianAngelica?
Yeah.
Do you like to, like, whether it's your dreams or your thoughts or a diary?
I have periods. Some periods are, you know, very fruitful, and then all of a sudden it's like, no.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Some periods are not, but I do have periods where I like write a lot of things, and those are generally what, you know, for example, led to, for example, some of those lyrics. I mean, I still have a couple of plays at home that I should have produced.
Put it down, but even the arrangements, a lot of it, like, it feels Brazilian too. Like you can see the influence.
I love Brazilian music.
Yeah, me too. Even though I don't understand it, but it sounds so good.
No, Brazilian music it just has this interesting melodies with harmonies and rhythm, and then it sort of expresses also somehow I don't know, the beauty of our countries. I don't know. I mean, my country is extremely beautiful.
Venezuela.
And the relationship, the contact we have with nature and how present it is in our lives and the space. And so I am very much in contact with that. And actually became very aware when I came to New York, because here is so populated that you're like, wow.
Wait a minute. We have 1 minute to go, and then we'll do it in Spanish. But I wanted to dedicate the last minute, address it to the camera, to your father.
Yes.
Your daddy is what, 92 years old?
He's going to be 92 the 10th of April.
What's his name?
Carlos Ayala.
Carlos Ayala.
Yes.
The love of your life.
Oh, yeah. Well, my mommy, too.
And your mama.
But my daddy is a very strong presence in my life. I have a great admiration. He's a great, incredible man, and I think he has. I think part of what I am, my curiosity, which is especially, I think that comes from him. A very curious man, and I think that I have that. And
your mother?
My mom. I think what I have from my mom is, she's very sweet, I have to say.
You're sweet. You're too sweet. Too good to be true. When I see you, you're so well put together. And then you see people like me and say, wait a minute, what happened to that woman?
Wow, you're so sweet too.
Oh, yeah, I'm a little bit off the key, but you're sweet. The sweetness about you. You're a classy lady. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
We're going to
Sissy.
do Spanish. Yeah, I go back and forth in time, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can, and we do interviews because we do it for fun. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep living. And please don't take yourself so damn seriously. Okay, just one piece of advice. When somebody asks me, what do? I do what I do. I'm an actor, creator, producer, interviewer. I do everything except taking my clothes off. I've done it all, and I'm very proud. Thank you for watching, guys.
Gracias,
see you
Sissy.
next week. Gracias, amor. Okay. Hacemos la entrevista en español ahora.
Okay.
Okay, seguida.
It doesn't have to be the same structure or
No,
what?
vamos a hacerla, pero vamos a hablar un poco más, quiero hablar un poquito de la situación de Venezuela.
Oh.